Why don't you transition us into We Only Find Them When They're Dead?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's just something that's been percolating for about, I want to say about 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
In that I was definitely asking artists, like, you know, give them like the elevator pitch, the bare bones.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, artists they're very busy, especially when, you know, it's probably going to be back end stuff, and I didn't at that point have I know I could probably front an artist a decent amount of money at this point, maybe, but it's like it's a, you know, it's a hard thing to kind of beat the bank. So, you know, I was looking for like ways I could get this thing rolling, and basically the short version is Eric Harvey had been asking after me for a while. I think this was after Immortal Hulk hit, but like a little around similar time frames. But Eric was asking after me, going like, "Do you want to do something create our own for us?" And basically, he said, and this was after I did that Immortal Hulk special with Simone. And Eric was, because Eric had already said, "Look, I have artists," which is like the magic words, you know. But Eric basically said, "Look, I've got Simone's number, you know, he's going to have a blank spot in his schedule in the future, you know, way into the future. We could like get you guys talking, get you guys together." I kind of explained my situation where it's like, I am on an exclusive with Marvel, so it's like, I won't get into the ins and the outs, but it's like, it's obviously nothing that stops me doing create our own work or like work for Boom. But you know, it's like there's ins and there's outs, there's ups and there's downs. But basically, you know, I had this idea that needed somebody with Simone's, I guess, scope, his ability to kind of, and he's sort of brought an incredible, he's brought a lot to, and he's sort of he's helped evolve the thing in that the visual stuff is like is kind of come from him. He's sort of taken it, I think, away from the sort of Kirby of it and into a much more Euro place. And I had envisioned it as a very sort of kind of a European style thing, almost like a bande dessinée style thing. But like, you know, having him do that has been just amazing. But yeah, Eric was able to kind of get us together, and we were able to sort of like sort out what needed to be sorted out. And yeah, it was basically, I mean, I think, you know, if not for that, I'd probably still be sort of wandering around, you know, tapping artists on the shoulder and going, "Hey, I've got a, you know, do you have a spare spot?" And then telling me, "Oh, I'd really like to know. I've got no spare spots."
Yeah, the part of the trick, I think, as a working artist is to make sure you never have a spare spot, right? Because if you have a spare spot, then, you know, you're not eating. And the thing, I want to take some time to talk about Simone and how spectacular and brilliant and incredible. You know, Simone is a revelation. And, you know, I remember, you know, we had him on the Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers crossover before this. And his stuff was so spectacular and so mind-blowing But at the same time, him transitioning off of that and getting into this project, and I just think he hit a whole new gear, and it's just staggering. He did this thing on his Instagram, which I encourage everybody to go see, where he took the panel sequence from the first issue and he animated it. Have you seen? No. Yeah, this is. I mean,
we were like
mind blowing.
No, this was like an email chain where he basically, and this was a Marvel style thing, because I said like, okay, I think for this we want to get into the kind of the packing of the meat, and he was like, oh, I want to do it like a storyboard, like an animation. Wow. And generally, certainly for Simone, but like with most artists, I'm a very sort of laissez-faire collaborator. I'll kind of like sit back and like see what the artist does and then incorporate it. So I do need an editor, or I'll just let anything can happen. But like no, I'm my immediate response to that is like, oh, I want to see this, and then it looked amazing.
Yeah.
And then he kind of showed us it as the animation, and it was like, oh man, even better.
Yeah. It's incredible. I encourage the fans that are watching and listening that they should go check it out. It is stunning. And Simone, what he does with color, the way that he integrates color into his line work, is just, I think, next level. And
I mean, he's evolving still. He's doing, I don't know if I think he actually tweeted. He might have tweeted out. I'm pretty sure he did tweet out, because I think I retweeted it. But like, he did a sort of a test of a thing that'll come in handy for a thing. I won't talk about it because it's a spoiler, but it'll come in handy for a thing down the line. But it's sort of a test of a new style of art, which is like, if you say, oh, I'm working with an artist who just did a test of like a whole new style of art, just as part of that's rare. I mean, the last time I remember it happening was I think, do you remember, was it JJ Birch? I'm trying to remember if this was.
Oh wow! Yes, I know what you're saying.
Guy,
yep.
Who turned out to be, he pulled off his mask, and he was it John Bogdanove?
Well, that's a good question. No, I think it was somebody else.
Because he was, but the regular Fostum artist.
Yep.
Was replaced by this new guy.
Yep.
And people took a few months for people to get used to him.
Yeah.
But like, everybody's like, oh yeah, no, this guy's really great. Yeah, it's really, and then turns out it's the same person. He just invented an entire new art style.
Changed his style.
For the hell of it.
Now I'm going to look up JJ Birch so that we know.
I think it's JJ Birch.
Yeah. That's I know it's JJ Birch for sure. I know it is. I just can't remember who JJ Birch really is. Let's see.
Joe Brzezowski.
Yes, that's it. That's right.
There we go.
That is a deep cut, my friends. That's a respect from a man that knows his comics. Yeah.
That struck me at the time, because they did a little editorial about it, because I was reading Fostum. I mean, it was one of those post-Watchmen things, and one of those. John Ostrander was very good at that, very good at kind of taking that ball of like, oh, we can be a little bit more sophisticated now. We can be,
Everybody forgets how cutting edge Suicide Squad when it launched was. It was such like a Clint Eastwood, Dirty Dozen kind of like 70s, edgy 70s thing put into late 80s culture. And, sort of the idea that you were going to kill characters on the regular, that like the idea of like, I'm going to make you attached to somebody and then they're going to die was mind blowing at the time.
And I mean, it was just reading that at the time was like kind of, because there was that, and the other thing, and I'm pretty sure Suicide Squad came first, but there was Strike Force Morituuri.
Yes, yes, that's a lost
which
classic.
was Peter B. Gillis, who is one of my favorite writers. His Doctor Strange run, I think everyone should read his Doctor Strange. Strike Force Morichuri was excellent. His other stuff very hard to track down, so I can't speak to everything he's written.
I keep waiting. I keep waiting for them to bring back Strike Force Morituri. I would not be surprised. I mean, if once Marvel figures out that, I think they own that. Maybe not. Maybe it's, I don't know what those stats, those contracts are.
It's a little hard to say with some of these sort of
yeah,
totally outside the Marvel Universe miniseries.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, something like Tell Gunner Joe, I've never managed to read. I've never managed to read that. I've never found it.
Yeah.
It's
now I know what to get you for Christmas.
yeah. Now, yeah. Please.